Have you ever felt a love so deep it becomes your foundation, making the impossible possible? This is the love that anchors us, a blessing from Allah. When someone believes in you, you feel invincible. They become your sanctuary in a chaotic world. But what happens when that sanctuary is suddenly gone? The silence left behind is deafening and the world turns grey. This loss is a test that can break or remake you, forcing you to turn to Allah for comfort. For the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, this test came in the al-Huzn, the year of sorrow. He lost his beloved wife Khadijah, the first to believe in him, and his uncle Abu Talib, his lifelong protector. Their loss removed the pillars of his world, leaving him to face the storm alone. Through his story, we learn that sorrow is not weakness, but a path to deeper faith and reliance on Allah. Before the year of sorrow, the Prophet had spent a decade facing ridicule and persecution in Mecca. The Quraysh saw his message as a threat and tried everything to stop him. In this storm, Allah blessed him with two pillars, Khadijah and Abu Talib. Khadijah was his emotional anchor, the first to accept Islam and his unwavering supporter. Her faith and partnership gave him strength when the world turned against him. Abu Talib, his uncle, was his shield, protecting him from harm as the respected chief of Banu Hashim. Even without accepting Islam, Abu Talib's loyalty kept the Prophet safe from the Quraysh's violence. Together, Khadijah and Abu Talib formed a fortress of love and protection. Their presence allowed the fragile Muslim community to survive its most vulnerable years. They were a mercy from Allah, making the Prophet's mission bearable. Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her, was a woman of intelligence, integrity, and compassion. She was a successful businesswoman who recognized the Prophet's honesty and character, eventually proposing marriage to him. Their union was built on deep love and mutual respect. When the Prophet received his first revelation, terrified, he ran to Khadijah. She comforted him, saying, "By Allah, Allah will never disgrace you. You help the poor, serve your guests, and assist the afflicted." Her faith in him was immediate. She became the first Muslim, validating his mission. Khadijah supported him with her wealth, wisdom, and unwavering belief, sacrificing her comfort for the truth. She was his partner in every sense, sharing his joys and sorrows, lifting his spirits, and nurturing their home. Her support was the fuel that kept him going through ridicule and hardship. She was the mother of his children and the queen of his heart. The Prophet would later say she was the best of women. Her love and faith were a mercy from Allah, making the struggle sweet. Khadijah's presence was proof of the Prophet's character and the truth of his message. Her partnership was a foundation for the early Muslim community. As Islam spread, the Quraysh imposed a harsh boycott on the Prophet's clan and followers. For 3 years, they were exiled to a barren valley, cut off from food and trade. Hunger and deprivation tested their faith. They survived on leaves and boiled leather. Khadijah, raised in comfort, endured without complaint, spending her fortune to feed the Muslims. The hardship weakened her health, but her spirit remained strong. The boycott purified the believers' faith, forcing them to rely solely on Allah and each other. When the siege ended, the Muslims emerged physically weakened but spiritually stronger. The cost was high. Khadijah and Abu Talib's health was shattered. Their suffering marked the beginning of a new, more personal trial for the Prophet. The end of the boycott was not the end of hardship, but a test that deepened their resolve. Soon after the boycott ended, the Prophet lost Khadijah, his beloved wife and anchor. Her death left a void that could never be filled. She was his partner, confidant, and the first to believe in him. The Prophet's grief was immense. He personally lowered her into her grave, his heart heavy with loss. Khadijah had stood by him through every trial, sacrificing her wealth and comfort for his mission. Her passing was not just a personal tragedy, but a loss for the entire Muslim community. She was the mother of the believers, a source of love and support for all. The Prophet's loyalty to her memory endured for the rest of his life. Her death marked the end of an era, a chapter of love and partnership that sustained him through hardship. The community lost a maternal figure who had nurtured them in their darkest times. As if losing Khadijah wasn't enough, the Prophet soon lost his uncle and protector, Abu Talib. Abu Talib had raised the Prophet as his own, shielding him from the Quraysh's violence. His position as clan chief made him a powerful protector. As long as he lived, the Prophet was safe. The Quraysh tried to bribe Abu Talib, but he never abandoned his nephew. When pressured, Abu Talib told the Prophet to continue his mission, vowing never to hand him over. With Abu Talib's death, the Prophet lost his external shield. The Quraysh, emboldened, escalated their persecution. The Prophet was now exposed with no tribal protection in a hostile city. He had lost a father figure and guardian, standing alone against mounting threats. The loss of Abu Talib marked a turning point, making Mecca even more dangerous. The deaths of Khadijah and Abu Talib plunged the Prophet into profound sorrow and isolation. The year of sorrow stripped him of his two greatest supporters, his comfort and his shield. With both gone, the Quraysh intensified their attacks, mocking and physically assaulting him. The Prophet lost his tribal immunity, making him vulnerable in Mecca. The mission of Islam faced its greatest threat. Preaching openly became nearly impossible. The Prophet felt the immense weight of responsibility, now heavier than ever. Yet, this hardship became a spiritual test, forcing him to rely solely on Allah. His grief did not lead to despair. Instead, he turned to prayer and supplication. In utter vulnerability, his connection with Allah deepened, preparing him for the next phase. The year of sorrow was a crucible, forging resilience and faith. With Mecca close to him, the Prophet sought support in Taif, hoping for a new home for Islam. He walked over 60 miles, only to be met with ridicule and violence. The leaders of Taif rejected him, inciting the townspeople to stone him until he bled. Wounded and heartbroken, he found refuge in a vineyard outside the city. In despair, he turned to Allah, praying, "O Allah, to you I complain of my weakness and the humiliation I faced." Even in pain, his concern was for Allah's pleasure, not his own suffering. The angel Jibril appeared, offering to destroy Taif, but the Prophet refused, praying for their guidance instead. His resilience and compassion shone through, even for those who hurt him. This moment revealed the depth of his mercy and unwavering faith. The rejection at Taif was a low point, but it did not break his spirit. Instead, it became a testament to his character and trust in Allah. After the year of sorrow and rejection at Taif, Allah granted the Prophet a miraculous gift, the night journey and ascension. In one night, he traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem, then ascended through the heavens, meeting earlier prophets and entering the divine presence. This journey was a profound honor and reassurance from Allah. The 5 daily prayers were established, becoming a source of comfort and spiritual strength for all Muslims. Soon after, hope emerged from an unexpected place. Yathrib, later Medina. A small group from Yathrib accepted Islam and pledged to support the Prophet. This marked the beginning of the Hijrah, the migration that would change history. The support lost in Mecca was found in a new community, opening a new chapter. The year of sorrow was a dark tunnel, but at its end was the light of a new dawn. With every hardship comes ease, and after every night, a new day breaks.